Hello, and welcome to Reddit Rewind, where we cover Reddit's most ridiculous stories. So today's story has to deal with someone who wasn't quite sure if he was doing the right thing by stepping up and intervening in a situation he thought may have been uncomfortable. Titled, AITA for telling my drywall guy to stop bugging my babysitter? We are doing some household renovations, and so workers are in the house. Today, two guys were putting up drywall in the living room while our babysitter is playing with our daughter in the family room, while I'm working in my downstairs office. I hear the drywall guy asking personal questions to my babysitter until her answers started getting short and her tone changes. I.e., guy, so, where do you live? Her, north of here? Guy, hey, but where? Her, it's kind of a weird spot. That's when I finally walked upstairs and told him, what is this, the census? She's watching my kid. Let her be. I thought I did it in a joking manner, but I guess it came off harsher than I intended. My wife promptly informed me that I was an a-hole to the guy and the babysitter had it under control. I get that white knighting is a thing and that I may be out of touch with where I should be putting my foot down, so I leave the verdict to all of you. Am I the a-hole? Update. We spoke about the situation at just before she left. I apologized to her for the weirdo and let her know he won't be back. To quote her, the thirsty ones never get the hint. The most eye-opening takeaway from all this was when she told my wife and I, if you think that was bad, you should check out my DMs. Her Instagram messages are from people who should be on the sex offenders registry. Guys offering her $700 a week to hold them. Guys she has never met offering to buy her plane tickets. And straight up dick pics. How are dick pic people not out on the sex offenders registry? It's just street flashing with less effort. It's insane and is apparently just a norm with the way she brushed it off. My wife is deflecting from whether I'm still the a-hole, but I'll take what I can get. In her defense, even the babysitter noted that while my comment was funny, my tone was actually straight up yelling at the guy. It's a give and take, like anything in this world. Anyway, thank you all for your input, and here's to hoping the thirsty ones get a job which has them work from home and off social media. Yeah, well, I can see why this guy went to Reddit. He wasn't sure if he did the right thing. But after reading the story and hearing the comments after the update, I think he did do the right thing. But take the question to you guys. Do you think he did the right thing? Was this white knighting, or did he step in and dilute the situation at the right point in time? Also, he makes a good point. Dick pics, that is a bit like street flashing, but a more personalized and lazy way of doing it. Anyways, I looked through the comments section and found a few comments that I thought were either funny or pertinent, so here we go. NTA and big blessings to you. Your babysitter probably felt obligated to remain polite while working. You the real MVP. And the next comment. Absolutely. I didn't take it as white knighting, especially if your babysitter is a teenager/younger woman. It was likely appreciated. Teenage me certainly wasn't confident enough to shut down creepy dudes, and I would have felt relieved knowing someone who employs me had my back in that kind of way. Don't doubt yourself for a second, OP. Yeah, so it sounds like he really did do the right thing, stepping in and trying to shield the babysitter from this creepy guy. And the next comment. I'm a nanny, and this kind of stuff has happened multiple times while I was working. Random repairmen with no sense of professionalism asking me personal questions that made me extremely uncomfortable. Parents were at work, so my only choice was to be polite without giving away too much information. Because what if I pissed him off? It's just me and the toddlers in the house. I have to make sure they are safe, and I don't know how this man would react if I were to shut him down. I wish I had someone there to tell him to cut it out. So I played nice, and when they left, I made sure all doors were locked and I was extra vigilant the rest of the day. OP is absolutely NTA. We need more men calling out other men for their behavior. Sure, the babysitter could have handled it, but she shouldn't have to in her place of work. OP is her employer and should act like head of HR as well. And the next comment, NTA. You hired this guy to work, not spend time chatting up your babysitter. You are not in any way out of line for intervening and giving your babysitter an out of the conversation that was becoming uncomfortable for her. I'm sure the babysitter would have handled it, but that's not the point. It was not her job to manage his behavior. It was yours, and you did. So both those comments basically saying, yeah, he's the employer. He should be acting like HR and stepping in when things are getting out of hand or inappropriate or uncomfortable for one of the two parties. And yeah, that's what he did. So good on this OP. It wasn't white knighting. Look out for your employees, because if you do, they'll treat you well in return. Yeah, and it looks like the OP appreciated that last comment, and he said, quote, "It was not her job to manage his behavior. That is well said. Thank you for your input." After looking at most of the comments, it seems like everyone in the comment section was of the same opinion that this OP was not the a-hole. So here's one comment I thought that was a little bit funny because it was said sarcastically. "You are absolutely the AH. How dare you stop a hardworking man from trying to get some from a babysitter that probably was way too young for him? What happened to bros before hoes?" Seriously though, definitely NTA. Yeah, maybe a bit of knight in shining armor, and maybe the babysitter had it handled, but she shouldn't have had to handle it in the first place. You stopped an older guy from hitting on your babysitter, and you managed to do it in a pretty hilarious way. So this comment was obviously sarcastic, the first part, and then they agreed that this was the proper move and the proper thing to do was to step in because, yeah, she shouldn't have to deal with that at work. And the next comment, "Female general contractor here. Far too many people in this line of work have shady histories and or criminal pasts. Thank you for standing up for your babysitter. I've been doing this for years and still have to interact with creepy guys who will not back down when told to do so. I've had to step in multiple times and ultimately let people go because they've been unwilling to remain professional and respect boundaries. Your home is yours to protect. Your employees are yours to protect, or the police as necessary. I applaud you for your decision." Yes, in this line of work, I don't know much about it, so I'm only going from this person says, don't know if it's true. Apparently, you have a larger proportion of shady individuals who maybe don't respect female rights or who maybe don't realize that no means no and you shouldn't be creepy and someone's house where you're doing a job isn't where you should be picking up your next date. So even from a female contractor who's had some experience, she apparently sees this all the time and this shouldn't be happening. Yeah, it's your job as the employer to step in when things get inappropriate. So good on the OP for doing this. And next comment. "NTA, if I was the babysitter, I would have appreciated it. I mean, maybe I would have been embarrassed, but the thing is, she might have worried you would get mad at her if she really stood up to him, and you showed her that you have her back. Also, that guy deserves to have people call him out. His behavior was totally inappropriate and unacceptable, and he's lucky if you don't kick him out of your home. I don't understand why your wife cares more about the feelings of this gross, creepy drywall guy than she does about the woman who watches your children. But if you ever find yourself in a situation like this again and want to handle it differently, here's what I would do. Call the babysitter over, pretending you want to discuss some other thing with her. Then privately ask her if she's okay and if she wants you to step in. And go with what she says. Final point, if your babysitter is a minor, your wife is way wrong here, and you're absolutely right to step in, because you shouldn't leave a teen to fend for themselves in a situation like that. If the babysitter is an adult woman, talking to her first might have been more appropriate, but you didn't do anything wrong. So here's another commenter saying, yes, this guy, the OP, did do the right thing by stepping in, especially if this girl was a minor. And if that girl was a minor and this drywall guy was hitting on her, and he's old enough to be your father or just hitting on anyone underage, that's really gross, and it's a good thing he stepped in. And here's our last comment. So here they're praising this one quote from the actual original post. "It's just street flashing with less effort." Yes, 100% yes. Thank you for saying that. Nobody wants to randomly see dicks on their screen. Years back, someone put my Snapchat info on 4chan, which commenced a bombardment of dick pics from random dudes all around the world. I started screenshotting them all, and when some dude would send me a pic of his dick, I would just send him another dude's dick pic back. For some reason, all these men were offended with getting dick pics. Go figure. Oh, and NTA. It's refreshing to know there's men out there who can call out harassment for what it is. So This particular comment I thought was hilarious because she got back at the people flashing her on their phones with the random dick pics by sending them other dick pics. And I think that's a fantastic tactic to get someone to stop sending you those pictures. Because, yeah, most people that send them out don't want to see other ones in return. In a heterosexual situation, I'm assuming. No, I think this was a good tactic because in order to stop them from sending her stuff, she would give them some of their own medicine, send a pic right back. So, yeah, very funny and very interesting tactic. Okay, guys, well, that was our story for today. Hope you liked it. Please let us know what you thought in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time.